is up, guys? Jet Girl here, and I am back with another Do It While Yapping. And today I'm going to be installing HydroTurf mats on this Kawasaki SS. Now, before you make fun of me for having a sit down in my garage, hear me out. This is a family heirloom. My dad actually bought this forever ago for like, I don't know, $300 or something with the trailer. It was a crazy steal, and we were gonna part it out for the engine, and it ended up being some of literally one of the funnest skis we've ever had. So the family heirloom has made it out to Arizona, and I am restoring it so that when my dad comes to hang out, he has a sweet hot rod, and I have something cool for me and Lucky to ride in the canyons and rip around like we're really cool. It has a beefed up motor for no reason at all. It is super loud and super slow. But anyways, the mats on this thing were nasty. They were really old. They were like mildewy, falling apart, crusty, gross. HydroTurf set me up with some mats for it, and now we're gonna install it. Let's go. All right, so I've actually already done all the prep on this. So as you can see, if I can figure out how to use a dang camera, all of the old mats have already been scraped off. This is nice and smooth. I mean, as smooth as it's gonna get anyways. A little bit of roughness is okay, but you don't want glue. You don't want stuff that's like peeling off that's gonna make the mats let go. So I cleaned this up as best as I could, scraped all the crusty old stuff off, and now it should be ready for mats. And for those of you that are tuning in for the first time and they're like, oh, why am I going to listen to this girl about how to install mats? I've done this before, and I've done it with the premium mats, which are honestly a lot harder to install. But if you are looking to install these, the process is roughly the same. So if you watch this video, you should also be able to install one of these. This is roughly everything we should need today. I've done this several times with the Premier mats. This is one of my first times doing it with the stick-on mats. I don't really think there's anything wrong with the stick-up mats, but I'm fully committed. So we're going to be using glue instead of just the stick-on adhesive. So this is the mat kit as is from HydroTurf. This is the Weldwood red can of contact cement. Do not use anything other than this. Like, I've heard horror stories of people using other stuff. This is the good stuff. I think you want to use more glue, like more is better. This is not a dot is a lot type of scenario. So I got this can and then a little bit of extra because I haven't done a sit down before. You're going to use this mallet to like beat it once it's done, and then throw away paintbrushes because they're not going to come back after we put glue on them. The last thing is a nice little piece of cardboard table. We're going to have to put something on that so it doesn't blow away today. But as we're gluing our mats, we're going to want something that we're not going to ruin.
Adhesive backing, because I'm going to go ahead and put the glue straight onto the adhesive backing when we get there. And here we go, the red can of Weldwood contact cement. You don't really have to be shy with the glue, but you don't want big puddles of it. So I like to pour it straight on and then use the paintbrush to kind of even it out. Like I said, as long as you don't have big puddles, but you have a good layer, you should have just enough. When you peeled the old mats off, there should be enough kind of residue left over that you know generally where to be putting your glue. So I kind of got lucky with the SS where I had a good idea of where to put the glue. Just be mindful of the glue kind of running or dripping, and you can use paper towel or Q-tips to clean that up. You're going to repeat that exactly the same way on the opposite side, and I like to go ahead and put glue on the entire ski before I do the mats, just to give the ski time to set up. All right, I'm doing the last little bit of glue here. If for any reason you have to put glue on like a bond flange or an edge, I really recommend putting some cardboard down on the ground so you're not letting glue drip onto your floor or your pump or your ride plate. Just keep an eye on it so that glue's not dripping where you don't want it to be dripping. Next, we're going to put glue onto the mats, on the back side of the mats, and regardless of if it has adhesive backing on it or not, you want to put quite a bit of glue on here because the glue can kind of seep into the mats. After you apply the glue, you're going to let it dry, and you want it to be tacky, kind of like a booger, and then it should be ready to go. This is the tricky part, and this is what usually is nice to have a buddy, is dropping the mats in, because a lot of times once they are seated, they don't want to come back off. So just be really cautious when you're installing them. Try not to move them around too much so the glue doesn't get in other places. If you take your time, and maybe if you have an extra set of hands, this is not terribly difficult. I was worried about this part on the kind of slanted surface, and it actually stuck just fine. This is my favorite part. You're going to take a mallet and you're going to kind of hammer down on these to make sure that they stay in place and they get sealed really well. When you press the mats down, if the glue kind of seeps out of the edges, you can use paper towel or Q-tips to kind of wipe up the wet glue. And at the end, once the glue's dry, you can use acetone to clean it up. You repeat that on the opposite side, place those mats in, get them right into place. And again, hit them with the mallet. Don't be afraid to give it a good whack. This particular part was kind of tricky because there is an eyelet that's actually incorporated into the mats. So I just had to take my time, make sure to get it lined up properly and not smear glue everywhere. Once I had it in place, same as before, press it all down, get the dead blow out, give it a good whack. It wasn't too bad. This one did also have kind of like a wrap over on the edge, so I took a little time to make sure that it was pressed in there really well, and then on the edge, I hit it with the dead blow especially hard to make sure that it wasn't going to peel up. And if you have a steady hand and a good paper towel, you should be able to handle this and polish up your turd with a new set of HydroTurf mats.